West Brom won, Man United won. There was a reason why I was definitely concerned about this game with how we've been playing against teams in the bottom three. Struggled in a lot of the games, even the ones we've won, haven't been convincing. Really disappointed today. I know we've been talking about titles off from a little while before this, but this just shows why we're, miles off, innit?
Yeah, we are miles off. I think we're quite lucky to be second, to be honest, with some of the results we've had earlier on in the season. And this result was just one of them where we didn't have the luck that we've had previously to win the game. I think that's what happens as well when you're on the verge of kind of challenging for the title for the first time in a very long time, and the board doesn't do anything in January to help you do that. So it's kind of a struggle, especially when you look at the likes of City and their squad depth, how much further ahead they are than us. And we needed something in January to help us close that gap, and we just didn't get it. And now you're starting to see us fall off. I think it's one win in the last 5 games. It's not good enough. It's not good enough with the players we've got. Never mind when you're going to try and get a title and you need more players. I don't think when Maguire said at the end of the game we played well, I don't think we did play well enough for a side of our quality. First half you could have just written that off. Second half the team actually looked like they wanted to go and win the game, but it was too late. West Brom, we know what they do. They just defend, and we've really struggled to break that down. We probably would have done better if they were coming at us, and we could have gone on the break, but it's the same old story, isn't it?
The centre-backs, you look at the manner of the first goal, the only goal we conceded, but the manner of the chances we ended up conceding, because really when you look at it, West Brom had the better chances or the better moments, really. I know we had the shots cleared off the line, one save and then cleared off the line. That was probably the closest we came in, and right at the end, okay, fair enough. That's probably the anger talking, saying they had it. But then what I'm saying is they had bright moments. But you look at the type of chances that they had and the goal they scored, it's just keep alluding to the same thing. Excuse me, the same thing we keep talking about.
Yeah, exactly. The line, it's playing so deep against. I'm not being disrespectful, because we probably deserve to draw to them today. West Brom, we've playing that deep line. The keeper's kind of on his line for me, De Gea should be coming getting that, but it's hard because the back line's so deep. And I just don't think anyone's taking authority in there. I don't know why Lindelof and Maguire are always doing each other's roles. I don't understand it. There needs to be one role for Maguire, which is winning the first ball and being on the man, and then one role for Lindelof where he starts taking the ball out. But it's the opposite way, and I don't understand that. I don't understand when Eric Bailly's fit. You're against West Brom. It's it's going to be a physical game, and you don't start him when he's not had a game in a while and he's fit. And I thought he could have come in and done a real job for us today. Played a high line, push onto them, and then I also think dropping Greenwood after he's been really good over the past few weeks. I don't understand it. I think all these favouritisms really getting in the way at this point, because I don't think Martial deserves to come back into the starting lineup. And I'm not saying it was on Martial today, but he did come back into the starting lineup. And why was Greenwood dropped? He's been playing better than most of our front three for the last few weeks. And when he came on, we created a lot more chances and we were playing quicker. And the same with Van der Beek. Why are you playing Fred and McTominay, 2 very defensive midfielders? I don't think we needed Fred today. I really don't. He was getting pressured on the ball a lot. They weren't really breaking very much. So why couldn't you play Van der Beek to start with and offer more creativity? But apart from that, I generally think we're missing POGBA a lot more than people think. His creativity from deep and the way he passes and moves, the way he controls the midfield, it's really overlooked. And I think that's why we were getting some of the results we were getting. He's just got that spark of creativity. I think his defensive work's brilliant as well. And I think we're really missing him in that pivot role. And if we didn't have Bruno Fernandes, then it would have been a 1-0 defeat today. It just would have been.
And even today, again, he was poor. He was poor for such large points. And then it feeds into the narrative that you have to say, if you say it in the right way and you look at it properly, it feeds into the narrative of like, we're just waiting for individual moments to happen, but it's not sustained. And that's what I was going to move on to next and ask you. You talk about the things we're missing there in midfield. You talk about the things we're missing at centre-back, which my God, do we know that? But at the top end, Cavani didn't have a shot. Rashford struggled to get a clear sight at goal. Martial, we know what happened there, and I think it was right for him to get taken off. Didn't have a good game. Greenwood, fair enough, got his shot blocked or saved. But we're not actually creating again. It's like we're kind of going backwards again in that department.
Don't get me wrong. West Brom did defend very, very, very deep. Like it was going to be hard to get in, but when Maguire's saying after the match, it's going to be hard to score goals. I mean, I'm pretty sure like they got beat 5-0 the other week. It is possible to score goals. What you've got to do is you've got to quickly pass and move to get round the players. When we're just strolling out of the back, passing it round side to side, and then moving it to the edge of the box, and none of the forwards are making proper runs, really, obviously it's going to be hard to score a goal. We don't have patterns of play in the attacking third. We need patterns of play where you're passing and moving, so you can work yourself into the box to get a clear-cut chance. What we do is we pass it out from the back, hover on the edge of the box, and we can never create anything because everyone's just in the way, and you kind of pass it on to Shaw, pass it on to Wan-Bissaka. They've got people in front of them, and it just goes around the edge of the box, and no one's making that darting run. Whereas I think when Van der Beek came on, he was kind of making them runs. I think Greenwood was kind of doing it a bit. But I thought Martial, Cavani and Rashford were all poor today. When crosses were coming into the box, they were always just a couple seconds behind. I thought Martial was so static in the box. When he was in there, it looked like he was always just going to be a couple of seconds too late. When you're hungry to come second or hungry to try and close the gap on City, you need to be playing like you will score that goal. You are going to be there to score that goal. That intensity wasn't there for me today, and it's not been there a lot of the time with us. I think Bruno's got that mentality because he was having a poor game, don't get me wrong. Everything he was doing just wasn't coming off at all. But his mentality gets him to score that goal. Like it is that because he believes in himself and that he that badly wants to win the game.
It's not a team thing. It's more of a him saying him believing that he can.
And that goal kind of spurred everyone on because you've seen the difference between the first half and the second half. And I'm like, that shouldn't be a difference. You should be going out there playing like that. Like you want to win that match the whole time. And that's the problem. Like in semi-finals, when you're kind of on pressure to get points because City are running away with the league, when this team's under pressure, we fail to create chances and we fail to get over the line. And I think there's many problems. We've been saying it for weeks. It's the same problems. Obviously, we know the centre back pair isn't good enough. We know we need a CDM so we can have a creative player in the midfield. We know the fullbacks need to get more involved. That is actually starting to happen now. But we still got static play. We need quick patterns of play. You need Ollie not to just be constantly choosing his favourites. You need to adapt the team to each game. Baye and Van der Beek should have started today. And Greenwood should have. That's like, I feel like most people would assume that. You need to not be making subs late in the game. You need to change the game quicker. But also, I think the players need to go out there and show a bit more intensity in the first half because it wasn't there. I thought West Brom looked more up for it. And their centre forward, he was bullying Lindelof and Maguire massively. Why? We need to be doing that. Do you know what I mean? Like near top of the league and they're bottom. It's not good enough to say, coming out at the end of the game, we played well, we deserve to win. No, because when you deserve to win, you should have won. We didn't create that many chances, like you said. And everyone's going on about the defence. Offensively, it honestly just is as poor. I don't think we had that link up, that chemistry in the front three. And I do think when Greenwood came on, it did make things a lot better. But also, on that point, having McTominay and Fred so deep in that pivot, because second half as the game went in, McTominay started getting forward a lot more. But when they're that deep, it forces Bruno back. And then you've got three players just hovering on the line, not really making a run properly. And Bruno's just stuck on the edge of the box with trying to force stuff. So you need that link up in the midfield. You need that quick movement. And we've not got it in the moment. We've really not. I think we still need a few more players to be up there to challenge.
Absolutely, 100 million %. We definitely can't do it with what we got now. To finish off, Beth, Champions League, Europa League.
I wish.
Europa League, steady on flex. Europa League Thursday. Now the season's kind of petering out in terms of our intentions. Is clearly just to make sure we stay in the top four and finish as high as we can, not the league. Are you now turning your attentions and looking at that differently now? Yeah,
we need to win a trophy, and it's as simple as that. Obviously, Man City is still in the FA Cup, so I don't think we're favourites on that either. I do think even if we got to the final, I don't see us beating them. That sounds negative, but it's just how I see the game at the minute. I do think we are way off them, but I would like to win that. And then the Europa League, I was thinking I'd rather not play it a few weeks ago, but I think we're favourites to win it, and we need a trophy. So you've got to go all out for that now. But that might put compromise us in the league as well, because we've seen last year we're kind of trying to go for both, and it was compromising us a little bit. But to be fair, in the Europa League, I do think, even though I do think we need to go and try and win it, we need to give players a chance in that competition. Van der Beek, I want to see him playing. I want to see Henderson in goal. I want to see what he's got, because I'm still not sold on the fact De Gea's long-term should be in over Henderson. I'm still not sold on that fact. Nothing to do with today, just in general. And then I also think players like Amad Diallo, Shola Shortire, then players that are coming up through the youth, they deserve a chance, especially when the team attacking-wise isn't performing as good as it should be. They definitely deserve a chance to try and get into that team.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens on Thursday. See you then.